It's the 6th episode of Behind the Counter presented by Insane Games. We got the gamer, we got the boss, we got Tom Thompson filling in for the nerd
2.0
Dave this week. And down south we got the kid broadcasting from the Insane Games in the Countryside Plaza. And of course we're all here in the Northway Plaza here in Queensbury. I think we're ready to do this. You ready?
I'm ready.
You gonna live up to Dave's funniness?
I mean, I'm going to try my best.
That's a big seat to fill. Big seat to fill.
It's actually a pretty small seat. I'm sliding off it a little bit.
I think we're ready to go. You ready? Roll it up, voter. And we're back to the 6th episode of Behind the Counter presented by Insane Games. We're going to do a little PUBG talk today, a little Fortnite talk, some TV talk, some miscellaneous talk about what we're doing, some games I got traded in this week. It's been a busy week with vacation week up here. A lot of kids, a lot of trades, a lot of sales. What have you been up to down there? Any good trade-ins, anything?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Ouch.
Ouch is
Nah,
right.
just been outselling you all week.
No, I don't think that's
too
accurate.
special.
I don't think that's accurate.
Well, I'm trying my hardest. I don't get anything sent down to me from New York, so I got to deal with what I have.
How did Arsenal do today?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I actually believe they lost, right?
I think they
I
lost,
plead
and they
the
lost
fifth.
big.
I plead the fifth.
They lost big. Tom Thompson, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Filling in for
Welcome.
Dave this week. Dave's taking down his set from inspecting Carol, so he's a little preoccupied today. We're glad to have Tom on. Tom, I used to be an employee here for a while, long Insane Game history. He knows the store well.
A little bit.
Mike, Mr. Birthday Boy here today. We had to drag him
happy
in.
birthday!
Drag him in on his birthday to come in and do our little old podcast.
They're acting like I was late, but I was on time today.
Been a
Try
busy-
shoving some cheesecake down your throat as Dan's texting you.
Oh,
Leave me
it's
alone.
just finished.
cheesecake, anything on top?
The glazed strawberries. Super wet.
Any whipped cream?
No whipped cream. That's absurd.
That's what we call wet here.
Whipped cream, come on. Busy week up here. We had vacation week, sales left and right, a lot of trade-ins. Anyone looking for GameCube games? Good time to come in. We got a lot of moist GameCube games. Super Smash Brothers came in today. Digimon came in. We had Mario Party come in. Mario Kart, Double Dash.
What else came in, Dan?
I think we got a first ever Nintendo Switch in.
The Nintendo Switch.
God.
You got any
God.
games? Nope, just a Nintendo Switch.
That's all you need.
The chicken tender Switch.
There's a lot of games you can buy online, though.
That's true.
That's what you could say.
true. But
I actually do want to go back to that cheesecake thing. There's one thing that would have made it better is chocolate sauce, right, Tyler?
Oh my god.
I hate chocolate!
Let me tell you a story.
Oh, this is the best story.
So, I was at TGIF's one time, and who was I with, Tom? Was it you?
No, I wasn't there. You were with, was it Larry?
I was with
and
Larry.
Definitely
with-
Larry. Maybe Tyler?
Yeah, I was with. No, yeah, it was Tyler, who's Tom's brother, Larry, who's our best friend, and we're just finishing up our what was it, Endless Apps or $5 apps?
Yeah, it was the
Or-
Endless
no,
Apps at that point.
Endless Apps, yeah. So as I'm finishing it, we're like, oh, let's get dessert. So I get the cheesecake, of course, because I love cheesecake. And I don't know what Tyler and Larry got, but they come out with it, and there's freaking chocolate on it. And I don't like chocolate. I hate chocolate. I freak out. I'm like, there was no indication of chocolate on the menu. There was chocolate all over it. I was like, I don't want it. I was so mad. I texted our group chat that I have with Tom, and I said, I'm livid right now. They put chocolate on my cheesecake. I was so excited to eat this delicious cheesecake, and now I am famished without it, and my life was not complete at that point.
Why didn't
I
you
was
just
so
scrape it
mad,
off?
and I was texting, and I was texting Tom, and he was laughing because of my pain.
Well,
But
well, the thing was that it was, I think Will was at my house at that
Right.
point. So we were all waiting to hang out and everything. And we're waiting for you guys, and someone texted the group chat asking where you were. And you said you were having a dilemma.
I had a major dilemma going on.
That's what it was.
The waitress put on chocolate. Well, she didn't put it on, but there was chocolate on my cheesecake. It was like doomsday.
I don't think I've ever met anyone that despises chocolate as much as you do. Anything. White chocolate, anything that has made around chocolate.
Smell of it just makes me gag.
I mean, have you ever met anyone that doesn't like chocolate?
I mean, I've met people that aren't big on chocolate. Like, they'll eat chocolate, but they don't want to eat it just plain. They want something with it.
This
like
one can't
cheesecake.
This one can't have any
example.
chocolate. Crazy.
And that's why I'm the skinniest out of all of us.
Well,
Shut up.
Stay woke.
I'm sorry. I like a good piece of chocolate every once in a while. I don't know what's so bad about that.
Grow up, dog.
Your stomach indicates it too, Dan. Oh, come on.
well.
Not really.
Fat boy Slim over there.
What's that?
I said Fat boy Slim over there.
Okay, cool. Tom, you weren't here when I think you know what happened a couple weeks ago with the Vikings.
I didn't think
I think we all thought about you when that happened. Big Vikings fan you are.
Yeah, I mean, it was the week before was just such a high. I never lost out in that game. I knew we were going to do it, knew we were going to pull it out. And then that next week, Vikings score first, and it did not go well from there.
Actually, if I may, Tom, didn't you send a Snapchat around of you crying when the Vikings won that game?
Not crying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was a lot of dust in my house, and something got my eye, so tears were rolling a little bit, but not because of that.
You gotta say the season was pretty good, though. I mean, you probably got a future franchise quarterback.
I mean, that's the thing, though. It's because they're saying, oh, Case Keenum, oh, Teddy Bridgewater, and they're going to make a run at Kirk Cousins. I don't want Kirk Cousins. I don't want to pay a guy all this money and then not get other pieces that we need.
Right.
I don't want to be where the Seahawks are now, where they have to pay Russell Wilson absurd amounts of money and they can't pay for other people.
Captain Kirk would be an improvement
Plus the Vikings,
over any of those.
The Vikings have a lot of people that they need to re-sign still.
Exactly.
And we have Tom coming in on Facebook saying, Eagles, how about them birds, Tom Thompson?
1.0 and all of his scumbag Philly people.
Whoa.
That city got destroyed. I would not want to be there that night.
Now he's spelling it out for you.
He's spelling it out on Facebook right now. EA.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
They did do pretty good on the city.
But this is the thing, though. They have Nick Foles and Carson Wentz. You're just going to have Nick Foles be a backup, or are you going to deal him somewhere? Well, what happens
What they should do is run the
Carson Wentz
Wildcat.
isn't what he was?
Yeah, they got a tough dilemma. I said that like week 10 ago. If they keep going all the way, they're going to have a quarterback situation.
Well, there's
But
that.
I would love to have that quarterback situation. Why not have two great quarterbacks?
Well, no, it's good. You're definitely going to benefit, but how you pick the right one? I mean,
You flip a coin each game.
Well, this is another
I
thing.
would definitely get rid of one and get
Play
some
the
value
hot hand.
back.
Trade Nick Foles.
Grow up.
I would probably
For
say
who?
trade Nick Foles.
Does Nick Foles doing that well kind of take away from Carson Wentz, though?
Oh, definitely.
He's
I don't know
just
how.
Because,
He,
I mean, you see
quarterback.
Nick Foles, he hasn't played in really how long?
and he
Carson
took the-
Wentz is a system quarterback, just like Nick Foles is.
Anything
It's the coach.
it's going to take away from
Saint Nick
Wentz
is
a little
dripping
bit. Saying
wet.
that maybe it wasn't about the quarterback; it was about the rest of the team.
I got to give it to Doug
mean-
Peterson, that the play calling, that RPO, run pass option.
He did some bold moves. I'll
Grow
give
up,
him some credit.
Tony Romo.
Dog, you know we know all about that triple option, though.
We did. Tom Thompson was my backup back in junior varsity football.
Backup.
I was a starting receiver, so I was the backup quarterback.
If people don't know and can't tell already, Tom Thompson and Tyler went way back in their old days in high school. I won't make fun of Schuylerville on the podcast. But,
Yeah, don't get me started.
yeah,
I'm already
you guys have already been humiliated enough this week with the loss against Glens Falls in basketball. Oh, come on.
Okay. Hey, how far is Queensbury in sectional basketball?
I don't know. I can honestly say I'm not keeping
pay
track.
attention to basketball.
I haven't kept track. It's all about Glens Falls right now in this area.
I don't concern myself with that.
Quite
See,
the
down
backstand.
in Florida, we have actual, schools that produce actual D1 talent that go to, I don't know, Kentucky. all those other allegation-ridden schools right now, but that was a poor example.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of big schools with big talent down here, so I don't concern myself with the little peons up there. But you were one of
Queensberry
those
had an
peons.
NFL player, Adam Terry. Adam Terry.
Who?
The guy from The Blind Side took his job, but he was starting tackle for the Ravens before that.
Actually, I watched that movie last night. It was on. I watched the end of it.
Wait,
Sandra
didn't
Bullock.
you guys have a baseball player too?
Yeah, Brendan Harris.
Brendan Harris, that's right. He
yeah.
played for the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yep, he did pretty good.
So don't be hating.
We had Tyler Hayes. So
Look at me in all my glory.
exactly,
Well,
I now run insane games. What are you doing with your life?
exactly.
Either way, I had to bring up the Vikings with Tom Thompson here. It had to be done.
Tom Thompson.
Tom Thompson. It had to be done while he was here. We
2.0.
had some side conversations on how Tom was handling the loss.
Not well.
So
I tried
Definitely
to text him
crying. He
some
was
it had to
definitely
get
crying.
brought up.
Yeah.
But football's over. Football season's done. That's not back until fantasy football draft in August. So done with that. So we're gonna talk a little PUBG Fortnite action right now. A game that I haven't physically played or really haven't been too involved in, nor can I say I'm a fan of it.
How
Tom
can you
has
say
actually
that?
played a lot of PUBG. Mike has definitely looked into it before. Tyler wishes he could play PUBG, but doesn't have an Xbox because he traded over to PS4. So
So if anybody wants to buy me an Xbox, that's pretty cool.
Tom,
And
let-
Xbox Live. And Xbox Live.
let's
I
start
need
with
that.
Tom here on why don't you explain to us what PUBG is? We'll leave Fortnite out of it for right now. Why don't you explain how PUBG works?
I mean,
Actually, if I can ask, just even before PUBG works, like how did Battle Royale as a game genre? Because PUBG might be the one that made
question.
it big, but I think there was one or two before that. Kind of give us a history in 5 to 10 sentences of the history of
I
the
mean,
genre.
honestly, PUBG was the first battle royale game I ever heard of. Besides, I believe it's
Ark?
H1Z1.
Yeah.
was a big one.
Yeah, I think that was the first.
So I believe it's made by the same publisher, or people that were involved in the H1Z1 were involved in PUBG.
Yeah,
So-
H1Z1 was, I think, a mod for DayZ.
Yeah.
And then the guy that was kind of the head of that one went on to start work on PUBG.
Yep. But I mean, with I guess just the battle royale in general, it's blown up this past year.
It has. I'm not gonna. Yeah.
I mean, you see, obviously, PUBG and Fortnite, they're the number, what is it, probably 2 and 3 games on Twitch that are streamed. They're always in the top 4.
What's number one?
That's probably League of Legends.
Yep,
Oh, really?
that
I
sounds
thought it
right.
was going to be Counter-Strike. I thought that was still
Counter-Strike's
huge.
definitely up there, but a lot of the people that used to play Counter-Strike are actually now playing
Yo,
PUBG
remember
and
Counter-Strike?
Fortnite.
That game was so lit back in the day.
All right, question: is it the same Counter-Strike from way back in the day, or is there new ones that have come out?
So it's Counter-Strike Go, I believe is what it's
And
called.
it's only
Yeah,
PC,
CS:GO.
right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
PC.
CSGO.
Counter-Strike Global Offensive, CSGO.
Yeah. So you have people like over here on this screen, Summit's playing, and he was a huge Counter-Strike player. And now obviously he does Fortnite. He does, I believe he plays PUBG a little bit. But then guys like Shroud, Dr. Disrespect, these guys are going into the PUBG and the Fortnites because that's what's getting the most viewers.
Right.
And it's because it's such an unpredictable game.
Right.
Is what it is. You drop in, you don't know what you're gonna get. So
Forrest Gump.
yeah, pretty much. The game's like a box of chocolates. That's what it is.
Not bad.
And this is then when Tyler, I guess, is going to take a stance against it.
No, I actually like it. It's just I haven't played it because I know I'm awful at it, and I don't feel like putting in the time right now because everybody's super good right now and playing it. I had one of my employees came into my store. He goes to school right now, so he doesn't work for me. So he came into my store this weekend and he goes, "Can I play Fortnite real quick? My PS4 is at school. I need to play one game." This is how crazy. This is how addicted he is at this game. He needs to come into the store to play one single game of Fortnite, and of course he finishes like 80th because I distracted him somehow, and all the settings and stuff wasn't up to par, and then he played one more and did bad again, and then he blamed my big screen. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying that these guys, I would go on, I'd probably finish 85th every single time I played, which isn't last, but still.
Just gotta hide.
I think it's
Yeah.
a cool game. I think I would play PUBG over Fortnite just because I don't like the cartoonish type games. I like the more realistic ones, but of course I don't have an Xbox, and PUBG's only on Xbox.
I was about to say, looking at both of them here, you can see the graphics style.
Yeah, the art style difference.
We got PUBG over here, and we have Fortnite over here. And I don't know, I kind of like Fortnite looking at it.
I mean, it'd be
like
great
it.
if the guy was playing right now instead of just.
Yeah,
he's in the
chilling.
loading screen
Yeah,
there.
it's cool.
He's getting ready.
I mean, I don't know, gameplay wise, I may prefer PUBG. I'm just looking at the graphics. I know these are more cartoonish, but it's kind of almost.
Well,
it looks
the thing
cool.
with Fortnite is people build forts. Like they have all these materials that they break down so that they can build things, and I think that's what's the most frustrating thing about Fortnite.
Right.
Is you're shooting at
agree.
somebody, and then they build a wall so you can't shoot them anymore.
So what's the main difference between PUBG and Fortnite?
It's probably the building.
And I'm asking questions because I haven't played either one, nor have done any research into looking into them. So why don't you guys? What's the difference between the two?
Fortnite's third person right now too. I'm not sure
So
if they're going
PUBG
to
is
add
first
first
person.
Yeah.
Well,
PUBG can be played either.
both. Yeah.
Oh, you can do either. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is really weird to me because third person can have some certain advantages, like being able to see around corners
Yeah.
and stuff that first person doesn't. It's really weird to me that people playing both modes are able to be on the same server together.
Yeah. That's what
I think
always say. I'd always do
having
third
both of
person.
those allows people that prefer one or the other to play. And like I know I'd rather play first person because I'm so used to it with Call of Duty and whatnot. And I just don't like the way third person looks. So
I agree.
I think that's a good idea is having both of them.
I agree, but I feel like they shouldn't be on in the same match.
They aren't.
Sure.
Oh, they aren't.
No. So
Oh, for
you
some reason I
have,
thought they were. I apologize.
at first for Xbox it was, but now they have it separate so that your third person.
That's cool.
Yeah, everybody's third
Okay.
person or everybody's first person.
But why would it matter if they were separate or not? I mean,
Because if I'm in first person and I'm coming around the corner.
Can I demonstrate?
Yes.
If I'm in first person and I'm like this, I can't see around the corner unless I pop out and make myself a target.
Right.
If I'm in third person, the camera's up here and is able to see
yeah,
around
I
the
guess
corner.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
I guess you're right on that. See, to me, I wouldn't.
Oh,
see
is
it, yeah, I guess you're right. So they ended up switching it. Where now all third person are in one and first person's in another.
Yep.
Cool.
See, I'm not a big third person fan, so I would eliminate Fortnite if I was choosing between the two.
Can Fortnite be first person as well, or is that just
I've
he
only
happens
seen
to
it
be?
in third person.
Oh,
think they said
I
it's
think
in the
building would
works.
be a pain in first
Yeah,
person,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that might be
I think
it,
it's
yeah.
I think it's only third person as well.
Okay. I did look up, we were talking about top games on Twitch. Fortnite is currently number 2 being played right now. PUBG is number 7. League of Legends is number 1.
Who's streaming.
Yeah, like League of Legends is number 1. World of Warcraft, I think, got a recent expansion, so it's number 3.
I wonder who else plays World of Warcraft here.
And CSGO
No
is
idea.
number 5.
Many summer nights at San Luis. I'm not going to disclose that information of where it is, but in San Luis, where Tom's chowing down on some tobacco and playing some World of Warcraft.
You
Wow,
play that?
those are some serious accusations that I
You
do
play
not
World of
appreciate.
Warcraft?
I've never played that game in my entire life.
All right. I guess my eyes deceive me. I
Was
guess I
it the
don't know what I'm
skull
looking
that he
at.
was chowing down
Oh,
on?
he was chawing on some serious peach skull.
Oh, grow up.
Can I scoot a little?
And Tom, you chew Coke, right?
It depends.
But
I
mostly
can't afford
the grizzly.
Copenhagen
Right?
anymore. Them student loans, right?
Yeah. Sally Mae.
Wow. So I mean, if you're looking at third person, you probably want to play Fortnite. Fortnite you can play on both Xbox One and PS4.
Yeah, and
Original
PC.
and PC. So PUBG is only Xbox
And PC.
And
yeah.
PC.
and PC. So I mean, that right there's a big difference between. I mean, PUBG is only Xbox, so you couldn't even play it if you wanted with only having
that's the issue.
PlayStation.
That's right. PS4 is for
Are they
nerds.
coming out with a story mode for both those games, or are they just not going to do those?
Fortnite, I believe, has a story mode, but you have to pay for it. So right now, Fortnite is free.
Oh, it's free to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good boost too.
That's a big thing for Fortnite.
I think PUBG was while it was in beta, but now that it's live.
it was still.
What?
So
it
it
was a
I
cheaper
think it's
early access.
30, yeah.
Okay.
But then you get the game. when it comes out.
$29.99.
Oh, not $39.99.
Okay. Oh, so right.
So
yeah,
it's still
fine.
a good game.
But yeah, I mean, especially with PUBG now though, since it's getting a lot bigger on Xbox. They have it free with like the Xbox One X. I've even seen it with like the Xbox One S.
Right.
So they're just trying to get more people to play it. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people, if they play PUBG, it's going to be on PC.
Okay, so you play PUBG, right?
Yep. I've played Fortnite. I think I played 2 or 3 games of Fortnite. Absolutely hated it.
Okay, so what's your strategy when you play?
It depends.
Do you find a spot and hide?
No.
He can't disclose that information.
I'll disclose it. It's fine.
Why? People gonna be looking to play.
People are gonna be knowing Tom now because he disclosed his strategy on PUBG.
So it's a lot different when you're playing singles or duos or squads. So if you're playing squads, it's go to a certain spot with your team, get what you can, and kill whoever's there. If you're playing solo, for me, I like to get to a spot that's not in like a major like populated area and try to find something and then even head towards that. So that when everybody's killed already, basically, you can kind of go in and get the scraps and see what you can get.
So, I mean, is there any, like, have you ever thought about, if you play with other people, is there ever like I'll work with you until we get to the top 20 and then it's a free-for-all?
No.
Oh my God, that'd be so awesome if you,
Is that not a strategy maybe? If you had like 4 or 5, let's all work together, and then it's almost like
it takes a lot of trust.
I'm pretty sure it's frowned upon too.
Yeah, if you have your squad, then you're already on the same team. You can kill each other, but it's not going to benefit your squad at all.
Right.
So, I mean, I think on PC you can talk to people that are in the game. But other than that, you can't do it on Xbox.
Right.
So you can't. I mean, I guess you could try and plan something out like that, but maybe message the person. But you don't. It doesn't even say who the name.
Do you play with friends of yours already? Like.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess the best person to play with is Larry because of how mad he gets when he dies. And Tyler can attest to this, especially with FIFA.
Yes. Very much true. Larry is also the worst person to play when he wins.
Yeah.
So, period.
I mean, if you're playing against him, if you're playing with him, it's fine.
So, there was one time I was playing NBA 2K with Larry, and
I remember this.
I was, who was he? He was the Bulls, right? The 96 Bulls, and I was the 96 Bulls.
He was
the
the
Warriors, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I was winning by I think 2 or 1 or something like that. And Larry, of course, 5 seconds left in the game, just dribbles it down, shoots a half-court shot, and it goes in. I literally threw the controller on the desk and I drove home. I said, "Good night, guys. I am going home." It was the absolute biggest joke ever.
Oh my God.
And Larry rubbed it in my face.
He still does.
He still does.
Hey,
He
a
still
good player
mocks me.
means a good player that can talk trash too. I mean,
I guess.
Yeah,
that's why I'm so great at Call of Duty.
He's like, he loses
Speaking
7 to 1 to you at one game, and then he just goes on a 5-game winning streak against you and just beats you every single game with Dortmund.
Because
That's his team.
not only am I great at Call of Duty, I know how to talk trash to prove that I'm great at Call of Duty.
To prove
So
it.
I mean,
What's
that's
the belt
how.
say?
I don't know about
What's
that.
What's
that?
the belt say?
It says Mike. I joined the other team this week and I headshot him 5 times in a row. It was one of the most. He was salty.
I kept running to the same spot. If I didn't want to die 5 times, I just could have gone somewhere else. But
The
I was choosing to
metallic
go
ring
back.
was great. The
Well, what Mike doesn't tell you is who got the most kills that game.
I had the most kills that game.
What Mike also
and my
doesn't
team
tell
won.
you is that the 25 pictures I have proving that I'm number 1 on the leaderboard every time we play.
I was doing challenges. I was doing challenges.
I don't want to hear it.
I was
I
getting
don't wanna
sniper
hear
challenges done.
What?
5
Coming from the
headshots.
worst Call of Duty player I've ever seen.
That's a blatant
He's like,
lie.
whatever, Mike. Why don't you say when I kill you?
We'll save that to later. Going back to Fortnite
That Call of
PUBG.
Duty we played, I was dominating you. Black Ops
We'll
3.
go back. We'll go back to Call of Duty later, because then you guys.
Whatever. You just want to forget about it right now. 'Cause you
5.
know
No, I
was
want to
there.
get to
5.
Dakota, who wants to know on Facebook. He mentions best strategy: find other people to play with, carry you. Is that some kind of?
Honestly, it's
Can
hard
someone
to,
carry you in that game?
Somebody can carry you, but it's hard to do, especially in squads.
Right.
Because say it's 2 other people and you, so you have a 3-person squad, which you can do. there's teams of 4.
Right.
So 2v4 isn't always going to work out. I mean, you even see some of the best players, they're not winning every game.
Right.
Even they say, oh, I'm going to win this game.
Right.
It doesn't always happen.
So if I go on and play by myself, I'm not going to be in a squad.
No. I mean, you could do that.
Right.
It's
But
just,
if let's say the 3 of us got on and started playing, we would be in a squad.
yeah, you could do a 3-man squad.
And
Or
it
you
doesn't
could-
matter if I can still kill Mike and knock him out, and kill you and knock you out, and go for myself.
Yeah, it's a scumbag move, but
So it's almost.
I think
it's
you
almost,
win as a team, though.
yeah.
Right.
So just
So if
betraying your
there's
teammates
3
would make
people
any
left,
sense.
and we're the last 3 left, we win.
So I think obviously the major part of the game is strategy. Do you hide? Do you run around? I mean, do you hide and hope you're there at the end? Do you run around and try to kill people to make
No.
yourself there at the end?
Because-
do you team up with a bunch of people? Do you protect a certain area? There's a lot of different strategies.
When you drop in, you can really drop in anywhere on the map, depending on how well you can navigate. And then wherever you are, it kind of doesn't really matter at that point because there's a random circle on the map that eventually gets smaller and smaller. And if you're outside of that circle for too long, you're dead.
Right.
So you kind of can't hide unless you get lucky with the circle. And that's a big thing about the game is you have to get lucky
Right.
with your loot because you could drop on a building, get some sort of an AR, and then someone goes on the bottom floor, they find a pistol. Well, an AR is going to beat a pistol.
Right. And gun-wise, there's a variety of ones to choose from. I mean,
Yeah.
assault rifle, pistol, rocket launcher,
Not
sniper.
for
Any snipers or no?
snipers, yes.
Sniper.
No
rocket launchers?
Fortnite has a rocket launcher.
Okay. PUBG doesn't.
No.
Shotguns as well.
Shotguns.
Oh,
yeah.
Big deal in
shotgun. Is there
Fortnite.
any grenades or any?
Grenades, yes. Smoke grenades, frag grenades. There's one of those cocktails that you throw and blows up.
Can you kill anyone from any other type of object? Like, let's say there's
You
a
can run
shovel on
over
the
it.
ground. Can you pick up a shovel?
So you can pick up a pan or a crowbar. You can
Start
kill
with
people with
the
those.
ice pick or
I mean, that's Fortnite.
pickaxe in Fortnite.
People
Yeah.
kill people with the pickaxe there.
It's pretty
I
hard.
mean,
to
I've
do.
killed somebody in PUBG by punching them.
Oh,
Whoa.
Yeah, you literally jump up and do a Superman punch.
right.
It's
To
awesome.
death.
How many maps? Is there a lot of maps to choose from?
For Xbox right now, there's 1 map for PUBG. On PC, there's 2. So the PC version is ahead. That's in the 1.0.
Right.
It's still early access for Xbox.
Okay.
And
So I
then,
guess that's not bad. You only have 1 map to learn then, for the most part.
yeah,
Right. That's
and
not,
you do learn it pretty quickly.
Right.
But again, it's not always the same. You're pretty much going to be at the end in a different spot every time.
Yeah, the maps are huge, so depending on where the
yeah,
circle
I
is, kind
imagine.
of says where things are going to happen. I think Fortnite just
Yeah,
has the
and then
one
the
map,
maps
but they
shrink,
just
too,
did a
as
time
re.
goes on.
They just redid
Added
the
a
map.
bunch of people, or
Yeah.
a bunch of places.
So is that right though? Like what Tyler said, the maps shrink as.
Yeah.
I think I did hear that
Essentially.
before. As you get down to like 25 people, 30, the maps.
It
It's
depends
all
on time.
It's
Based,
timing,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, is the time?
Yeah,
What's the
so
time
like
limit per game?
every 3 to 5 minutes or something, the
Yeah.
circle gets smaller.
Yeah.
And you have to be in the zone, right?
Yeah.
Before, or otherwise you die. Am I?
Yeah.
So like the
Yep.
first one, you can be in the zone for a while and it won't kill you. But after probably the second zone, if you're out there, it's bad. You're gonna die pretty quickly if you don't get right in.
It's like The Gray with Liam Neeson. You don't know.
Exactly.
Now, do we feel like this is going to be a mode that makes its way into other games? Like
Oh
Call
yeah,
of Duty.
they already rumored it. They already
Red-
rumored it for
Red Dead.
Yep.
Yeah,
Red Dead.
I don't know how I feel about it though.
I mean, Call of
I
Duty.
think it would
that's
be
a,
cool with Red Dead.
Yeah, you're gonna say, oh, it's gonna be cool with all these games, but eventually it's literally the
Yeah,
same
but if
game
all these-
over and over.
If all these games add their different twists, like Red Dead, you could ride a horse and just slice someone's head off, you know? Or like Call of Duty, they'd have their own specific guns. Like they all have different guns, they all have different, you know, graphics and whatnot. But they're all gonna copy it because everybody's doing it, and it's the most successful thing in video games right now. So
Yeah.
that's what it's a copycat industry. When something does really well, that another company's going to copy and put it into their game because it did so well. I mean, everybody did zombies not too long ago, and now everybody's going to do battle royale. It's just the way it is.
I mean, okay, so Fortnite and PUBG are obviously smaller companies
Yeah.
that put together these games where the graphics aren't detailed. I mean, they are, but they're not. Let's be honest, they're not they're not Call of Duty.
They're getting better, but
they're getting
still,
better. They're still kind of, I'm not going to say cheesy, but they're not fully integrated graphics. Do you think a major title coming along and taking this type of game and putting it into their, like, let's say Call of Duty came in, and with their graphics and everything, turning it into a major mode, is that going to hurt this type of game, or is it going to help it?
I mean, I think it'll help it.
It's a mixture of both.
Especially if you don't have just that. I think that's what's annoying about PUBG or Fortnite. Once you die, match is over.
Right.
Like there's no other rounds or anything.
Didn't they say on Fortnite that they were gonna change that, where once you die, you can click on put me in like a different room or whatever they call it?
I mean, you can join a different match right after.
Yeah.
Right, but before you couldn't do that.
Yeah, you could.
Really? On Fortnite, you could join a different match after you died?
Well, I mean, you join it's a new match.
It's a new game.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
So I'm guessing
you had to wait.
Yeah. So for those modes there, the only thing that a person wouldn't like was if they die.
Especially if you die early on,
and
you're in a squad. You just sit there and you watch your squad.
Right. I mean,
it's not fun.
So I guess you can learn, but pretty much what you want to do is the back channel of the game needs to be able to take you out and put you into another match right away. I mean, you don't want to be sitting there.
You just leave and you join one as soon as you die.
Right.
That could be a thing that's cool. But again, if you have Call of Duty doing it, you kind of want that team deathmatch,
right?
Search and destroy.
That's true.
So,
sorry,
Mike, would you because you do a lot of Call of Duty. We're playing Call of Duty right now. Would you, if this mode was put into the next Call of Duty, I'll just call it a survival mode. Would you play that in Call of Duty? Would you find it interesting if it was in?
I'd definitely give it a shot, but for that, I'd probably just want to play with like PUBG or Fortnite, someone that's like they've been mastering the process all along. Well, they still haven't completed it.
There's a lot of PUBG is on the decline right now, especially with the PC because they have so many people cheating on their PC servers.
Jeez.
So like people have just like these mods basically that allow you to see where everything is in the map, see where everybody is, and it's just like aimbot, and it's just not fun because you're gonna lose no matter what.
Right.
So that's why people are starting to leave it.
I would be more inclined to try it if it was in Call of Duty. I think if it was in Call of Duty, I would probably get on and at least try it a few times. Yeah. I don't know I guess when I think of PUBG, I won't say Fortnite because, well, I mean, I guess I could play it on Xbox. When either one, I just don't really consider them like a major. Like it's just not. I don't know. Like I'm just not interested in going in and playing it.
The biggest thing with those games is still on the console. They're both early access, so they have so many problems. Right. And I think that's a problem with itself. Is don't release a game early access and have it out early access forever.
Right.
And basically never finish it. Obviously, they finished it on PC for PUBG, but there's still so many problems with it.
Yeah, their early access periods have been really, really long because people are excited to play them, but they've got really long development cycles, so people are playing them as incomplete versions.
So you get a game like Call of Duty, they'll probably do better with it.
Right. I think I'm interested to see a major title take it and put it as a mode because I'm curious. Rather, well, there's not only any Halos in the work, but like a Halo or Call of Duty or
I think
Battlefield. But
at E3, they're going to release a lot of names that are going to be doing it. That's what I heard.
Right. I'm intrigued to see who. I'm intrigued to find out because I'm sure there'll be a few. So I won't say. I'm intrigued to find out what are the first ones to take that step and put it into their game. I think Call of Duty will be one of them. I don't know why they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Or Battlefield. Battlefield normally has a big multiplayer. They got a big free roam.
Yeah,
they're coming out with a Battlefield this year at some point, aren't they?
I think so.
Yeah, this year they're coming out with
one last year. So Tyler obviously plays PlayStation. We play Xbox. Boater, for PC, is this the type of game that you would be interested in playing PC-wise?
I personally, I don't do too many multiplayer games. I know that with this kind of thing, if I jumped in, I would probably be knocked out really fast and continually getting frustrated because, like, I'm not that skilled at first-person shooters when it comes to playing online. So eventually I'd be like, well, I got knocked out in the first 25 people again, and just be too frustrated to play.
But rather, you're good or not? Is that something that you would be intrigued to try out? Or would you like to see it in another game that you play?
I'd definitely be interested to try it out, so I will at some point be doing that. I think seeing it show up in other franchises, I think for the short term is going to be good because it's going to be like a shot in the arm and more player base added on. But I think long term it's going to end up, it might end up running the course of it faster. Where like, you know, zombie modes, everyone does zombie modes now, and people are like, okay, yes, you've got a zombie mode, I don't care, I'll play it a little bit, or whatever. And eventually, the Battle Royale mode could be that. So I think in the short term, it's a good thing. In the long term, it could make it run its course a little faster.
So for this style of game, what would we all like to see what game would we like to see pick up this mode? I mean, I would say Call of Duty because I play Call of Duty, so I'll be the first one to say Call of Duty. I mean, I play Call of Duty. It's like one of the only few games I play. I wouldn't mind trying this in Call of Duty.
You mentioned Halo. That would probably be kind of fun.
Halo would be really cool.
Yeah.
What other games would you like to see it in?
Halo's trash.
I mean, Dead Island's already zombies, so I mean, would it be cool to have it a bigger mode than Dead Island?
Done. Dead Island 2 is still in the works. That's like never coming out.
That's like
so.
every other year. You know, hey, we're gonna come
out. That
now.
wouldn't be a stretch though, because you know, again, if it's an island, a single zone, and then having it shrink from there, that wouldn't be too much of a stretch to implement.
I would play it.
Tom, what game would you like to see it in?
I don't know. I mean, you obviously named
World
the
of
big
Warcraft.
Games. Grow up. You obviously named like the big games that could do it. I mean, you look at other shooters like Overwatch. They wouldn't really be able to do it. It'd be tough to do with that.
Yeah, Overwatch.
Yeah,
So games like where you have that customization already with Call of Duty or Battlefield or Halo, that's going to be your best bet to do those. Yeah, I mean, you can't really have like a fighting game do it.
Right.
There's not like guns or anything.
Right.
Tekken style.
Yeah, there you go.
Tyler, any game that you would be intrigued to see that mode added to?
Grand Theft Auto.
Ooh.
That'd be hot.
Okay, that's different.
That would be actually a really like different spin on it too, because it's a first-person shooter, whatever. Grand Theft Auto, that could add a lot of really cool stuff.
They'll probably kill it if they do it. Yeah. Well, in a good way, like knock it out of the park.
Not that they're putting any development into Grand Theft Auto. GTA Online is printing them money. So.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it could add a lot of intrigue, like a different style to the game. You know, adding vehicles, planes, all that type of
vehicles in PUBG, but again, it's just the cars or
whack.
Plus, Grand Theft Auto is a giant map already. They could just pick one of their parts of the map.
Right. That's good. Yeah.
They have the pieces already.
Also,
that's true. It wouldn't take
them
that much to
implement. They have giant maps. Well.
I think Battlefield. I would choose. I mean, I like to see it in Call of Duty, but I think Battlefield would do it before Call of Duty does. I can see Call of Duty skipping it this year, and maybe Battlefield picking it up.
Maybe. I did hear something about Modern Warfare 2 getting remastered at some point.
There's some rumors of that.
So they could do it for that, which you're already going to have a lot of people buy it because Modern Warfare 2 is, in a lot of people's opinion, the best one. So,
do you think? One more round question. Do you think this is a mode that's going to go on for a while, or do you think it's going to be a quick, done and over? Do you see PUBG still going about a year and a half?
For the player base that absolutely loves it, yes. So it's kind of like that MOBA phase, with like League of Legends and everything.
It's kind of like World of Warcraft, right, Tom?
So there's like League of Legends and stuff, in Dota 2. That these games, there's only a few of them out now.
Right.
Like a lot of people tried it, but it didn't really work. So you'll have games like Fortnite and PUBG still be around, but they're not going to be as big as they were.
Right. Mike, you think it's going to be around?
They'll probably milk it till it's dry, and then so it'll probably be around for a couple years. But
Tyler, what do you think? You think it'll be? Can you see it still going in a year or two?
Yeah, I think it's going to go for a long time, actually.
I think it'll go. I think it's going to be hard. I think they'll have a hard time keeping 100 people in each game.
Eventually, people are going to get sick of it.
Right. I mean, you may get the core 40 that go in every game. You know,
imagine they at that point where they don't have 100 people, like per game, they merge Fortnite and PUBG, and you can pick which player you want to be, and then you get randomized on their maps. That'd be sick.
That is the stupidest thing you have said in 6 episodes.
Yeah, that was the worst thing I've ever heard.
All right. Not everybody has good ideas, but. All right, it was nice talking to you guys. Bye.
I was gonna say he's getting into it a little bit, coming up with some ideas.
Now I just don't care. I hope it dies within a year. So
they're just too different.
Yeah,
too different.
I feel like, again, it depends on how much other franchises jump on the bandwagon, whether it burns itself out. Or like you mentioned MOBAs, and yeah, League of Legends isn't as big as it used to be, but when I checked, League of Legends was still on the top of what's being streamed on Twitch.
People watch it, they don't necessarily play it.
And it might not be PUBG that makes it, but there will probably be one or two big Battle Royale games that last for a little while. It's basically League of Legends and Dota 2. Basically, nobody plays the original Dota mod, and Heroes of the Storm is there, but not as big.
Yep.
So...
I think that was a good talk on PUBG and Fortnite. I think I got a little bit more insight on it. I think I wouldn't say we're against it or for it. I think we're right down the middle. I think it's there. It's something that it's probably going to grow before it ends.
I think you should do a live stream of it for your first time playing it.
It's not a bad idea. It could be.
You want to see a broken controller?
It could be interesting to tape my first ever playing that game, see how it goes.
Probably wouldn't even make it past
the menu screen. Or we could all do one. We could all do one and see who goes the longest. Because you really haven't played it much. I've never played it.
I play Fortnite mostly.
Have you done it at all? Any of them? See who goes the longest. Not bad.
Be me.
We're wrapping up February. We have a pretty good month of games coming out in March. I got some solid, as we all know, the titles all kind of slow down after Christmas. The video game market kind of takes a little break, and we hit March with some pretty good titles. We got Devil May Cry HD collection coming out. We got Surviving Mars coming out, which I heard could be very interesting. We have Sea of Thieves, which has gotten some great reviews.
Whoa.
A Way Out, I've heard a lot about that. Far Cry 5, MLB The Show, Agony, a lot of computer games on here too for those. Kirby, Star Allies. Anything that catches anyone's eyes for this month of March?
I like Far Cry 5. That looks fun.
I say you did Far Cry before, right, Tyler? Would you play Far Cry 5?
Primal. I played Primal.
Oh yeah, Primal. That was pretty wet.
Didn't your save data get deleted?
Yeah. I remember. I don't talk about that because the person that did it no longer works with us, and he's dead to me.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Tyler took a day or two to figure out if he really wanted to resume.
I did.
He's like, I don't know if I want to do it anymore. But I really want to keep playing, but I really don't feel like going back and redoing everything.
The game takes forever to do, and I was like 20% through it, and all for this freaking little kid to test out the first scene of it. And this game's rated M, and there's a 6-year-old behind the counter playing it on my profile and deleted all my information. I did retry it, and I got past the 20% in a shorter amount of time, but I was still very upset.
I think it's happened to all of us. I remember my day back playing the PlayStation 1, and I had the memory card, and I'll do a Metal Gear Solid, and I think I got all the way to the guy with the tank. I forget the guy, the boss
Vulcan
name.
Raven.
Yeah, that's it. I got all the way to that point, and memory card malfunctioned and deleted, and I lost all of it. And I'm saying to myself, do I go back and I play it? Do I really want to finish the game? We got to restart all over again, and there's no worse feeling than trying to go through a game and dying over and over and over again because you're trying to rush it, and you're trying to beat it, and it's just you're going nowhere, and it takes longer than it did the first time. But Mike, that's had to happen to you before. Have you ever have a game that you get through and it deleted? Game Boy? Anything in the Game Boy? Anything deleted and you couldn't?
Off the top of Donkey Kong Country 3. That one happened to me a bunch of times because the battery in it died. So I've tried to beat that game like 3 or 4 times now, and I've given up.
Tell me, ever have a classic meltdown when something deletes?
Yeah, in Pokemon Crystal. I caught a Raikou, and shortly after that, the battery died, and it was no longer there.
Actually, that happened to me recently. I was playing Pokemon Yellow about a year or two ago, and I was at Zapdos, and I forgot to save it before I got to him, and I turned it off thinking that I did save it, and then like I must have been playing for like 3 hours, and I was like all the way back, and I was so upset.
And it's almost like you don't even want to play it anymore.
I didn't. To this day I still haven't played it. I was so upset. I was like, I'm not playing this anymore. I'm done.
Well, yikes, not to finish it. I mean, at least we went back and finished ours. You didn't even finish it?
I played Pokemon Yellow through a bunch of times. It's just I like going back and playing it again.
Not anymore.
But after that, it's
no more?
Done.
Porter, you must have had one.
I forget what game it was, but I know there was one where it was like a save file got corrupted, or like I got really far and then it was like a PC game where I didn't manually save anywhere close to it, and it was like, oh, it put me back here. Set down the controller, walk away. I don't think I came back to the game for at least a year and a half.
Oh my god.
In another mode too is I know Metal Gear had it, is that when you die, it brings you way back. The game's when you die and it brings you way back to another part, and you gotta go through the whole thing all over again. That was another problem I had when I was playing Metal Gear. I remember that. I don't know if I had that in any other game, but
Destiny, you die at a certain part.
Yeah, you have to go all the way back.
Yeah.
Oh god, I remember that. I remember the battles, Mike, with that.
Great times.
It was I'm not gonna get into my anger with Destiny. No, it's a game that, you know what, they should have just kept making more stuff for it, and they stopped. And
you went on this rant.
I did, and I get mad because, you know what, it's actually a game that I like. I was actually quite happy with the first one after the betrayal and the knife that got put on my back by my own team in that game. I never played it again. And we came back to Destiny 2, and I actually got into it and had a pretty fun time with it.
Let's be honest.
You want to talk about betrayal? You want to know what happened this past week that's knifing my back? We were talking about Facebook ratings last week, and my grandma, who is so good on Facebook, likes and shares literally everything we ever have to say, which I don't mind, rates us. She gives us a 4 out of 5 stars. I go, Grandma, what did we do wrong? And she's like, oh, I accidentally clicked 4 stars. I didn't mean to do it. I didn't know how to change it. I'm like, because you can't. You messed it up. You messed up our ratio.
Jeez.
What a shame.
We weren't exceptional. We were only good.
Hey, maybe that's what she really thinks.
Sugar-coated it for you.
She's not going to get a Christmas gift next year.
Tough talk from Graham.
I'm not visiting New York now.
We don't want you up here.
I was going to say thanks, Grandma.
I don't want to be up there. It's 80 every day down here.
It was warm this week.
Yeah, it was 70 for like one day, and then it was snowing the next.
Alright, so that's our video game talk for tonight. Make sure you subscribe to us on Behind the Counter on YouTube. You'll also like us on Insane Games NY, Insane Games FL for Facebook. We're going to talk a little TV talk next.
Oh boy.
I think you may get a little heated as to what shows people like and what shows they don't like. Should be an interesting conversation. We'll be right back to episode 6. And continuing with episode 6 of Behind the Counter, presented by Insane Games, presenting live from the Northway Plaza in Queensbury, New York, and the Countryside Mall in Clearwater, Florida. Have any ideas for us to talk about on our podcast? Submit them to our Facebook page, or you can comment on our Facebook Live post or on our YouTube channel post. We'd like to know what interests you so we can talk about it, hear our views and likes about certain topics. We're going to move on to a little TV talk.
And something else, Dan.
What's that?
And so we can call you bald.
I don't know about that.
Had to get that one in.
I don't know about that.
Sorry, Boder. Had to give you more work to do tonight.
Thanks, Tyler. You're a pal.
So, everyone has their favorite show. Everyone has their favorite movie, show, short series, everything. So, we decided to come up with a list of our favorite shows. Some may have the same one, some may not. And I'm looking at this right here. It's actually pretty neat. There's a bunch of different shows I didn't even know about. Tyler can't see it, but there's a picture of like probably 100 shows on here. White Collar, Scrubs, True Blood, Warehouse 13. I remember that. Big Bang Theory. I didn't know that was in there. 24. I watched that one. Smallville, X-Files. So let's go over whose favorite shows are what. Mike, let's start with you.
All right, let me get my list up here.
Oh boy.
Mike,
I can't wait to see what Mike watches on his free time.
Mine is a very wide variety, so get ready.
Are we allowed to guess everybody's favorite show?
I'm gonna take a guess here. Mike is an HBO guy.
Oh yeah, Mike is definitely
He's an HBO guy. So
yeah.
Tom wanted me to give him a shout out because he turns me on to a lot of the shows I watch. Tom Shevlin 1.0.
Yeah.
Well, he is the only Tom Shevlin.
Some of his shows are whack. I don't agree with all of them, but for the most part, he has good information.
Tom said The Resident was a good show.
I don't even know what that show is.
I'm kind of intrigued to take a look at it.
That ruins all of his credibility. The Resident, really?
Tom's an HBO guy.
The Resident's not HBO.
I know, but Tom believes that if it's not on HBO, it's not a true show. That's how Tom thinks. Am I wrong?
There's a little bit of the bias that comes through on my list.
Okay, so we already know. So I'm gonna guess Mike is a big HBO fan. So why don't you name off your bottom 5 first?
We're going backwards?
We're gonna go backwards.
From 10 up to 1.
All the way to 1? Okay.
Well, so 10 up to 6.
My least favorite, I put Westworld. That's an HBO show. I put it there because it's too early to gauge where exactly, because it's only 1 season in, but it has some potential.
Never watched it.
Wow.
Wow. Number 9, I put Robot Chicken.
What?
Makes me laugh.
Is that
humorous.
a cartoon?
Yes.
You don't know what it is?
No, I've never heard of it.
You've never seen Robot
basically.
Chicken?
Nope.
Oh my god.
Number 8, I had Trailer Park Boys.
Nice.
Oh my god.
If you don't like that show, you can burn. That's all I gotta say about that.
I like it in small doses.
And then 7, I had Walking Dead. It was better early on.
The first
now,
few seasons were really
You
good.
gotta have a stomach to watch that show.
I don't watch it anymore, but it was good early on.
You're not watching it tonight?
No, but I know it was for my birthday, and I was just like, what a shame, I don't watch it anymore. I read the spoilers about it. That's how much I'm not watching it anymore.
Wow. I watched that show once, and of course the one show that I watch, it's Negan just going ham on everybody's head. And I'm almost puking. I'm like,
It's a good
Like,
episode
I
to come back to.
I actually read that's one of the worst death scenes ever.
it's like the
on
most
TV.
gruesome thing you've ever seen. And I was like a little kid, like staring at the TV, like, is this really happening? Like, it looks like spam is falling out of these dudes' heads. And I'm just like, what the heck? I'm never watching this show.
Popping out.
That was the worst part. That was so
They
worst.
definitely went all out with that one.
That was wicked absurd.
So what else you have?
After that, I had American Horror Story as number 6.
Okay. That's a good
And
one.
then number 5, I had The Leftovers, HBO show. Super moist. Super moist.
This is Tom. This is Tom .01 propaganda right now. The Leftovers.
Number 4, I had South Park. Number 3, I had Dexter. Number 2, I had Spartacus.
Number
Dexter's
1. I'm going to guess your
stupid.
number 1.
Yeah, let's guess my
Spartacus
Game of
is super
Thrones.
what?
Oh,
Wait, can we talk about Dexter and how stupid it was after season 4?
I liked Tom Hanks' son when he came into the picture. I think he was like...
I literally have I was so in Dexter.
Yeah.
I was season 1 through 4. I was all in, and then I started it, and everybody was telling me how after season 4 it's awful. And I watched the first 3 episodes, and I'm like, this is stupid. I immediately stopped watching it, just like I stopped watching season 3 of Narcos. I can't ruin it, but after they killed the main character, I stopped watching.
I can't ruin it. They killed the main character.
Spoiler alert.
There's 3 main characters, so
Well, Narcos, you know what's going to happen to him. I mean,
Did you finish
it's
Dexter?
historical. So
Tyler? Did you finish
What?
Dexter?
I'm never finishing Dexter.
Wow.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
So I think we all know number
Dexter.
1. So why don't you say it?
Game of Thrones.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Splash, drip, greatest TV show all time.
Steph Curry.
So you're a follower with everyone else that likes Game of Thrones.
So that
There's
is
plenty of
fire
people-
engine wet.
Exactly. Whatever kind of wetness you could think of, that's it.
Oh my god.
You might as well look Aquaman up there. That's a good comparison for Game of Thrones.
I'm waiting till they finish this next season, and then I'm gonna go in.
You know what I hate are the people that don't watch it just because people like it.
I don't watch it
Those
probably
people
because everyone else thinks it's
and
such
that's a
great
horrible
show.
way to live life.
Dan, it's like,
just not watching it because you don't, because other people like it.
Terms. Dan likes House of Cards. So it's pretty much House of Cards in medieval times in its own world. You would like it.
I'm done trying to convince him. He doesn't deserve it.
I'm watching it after this next season.
So you're gonna watch when it's all done?
Yeah, I want to binge watch it all the way through.
No.
Dan doesn't deserve Jon Snow and the boys.
I look like Peter Dinklage, so I deserve to watch it.
All right, so I'll go through mine. I'm gonna do mine. Okay. Honorable mention, I'll say first. I even did an honorable mention. I'll name them off. Criminal Minds, Blue Bloods, 24, Las Vegas, Stranger Things, Big Bang Theory, Dog the Bounty Hunter. I think that's great. I love Dog the Bounty Hunter. I think it's a great show. Or it was. Roseanne, how can you not like Home Improvement? Come on. Tim Allen back in the day with all three boys. Great
show. Are these all
honorable
mentions or is this your list?
Honorable mentions.
Oh, okay.
Way too many.
How many
mentions.
honorable
Let's
mentions?
go.
do you have?
Let's go.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Get to the list.
Walker,
All right.
Texas Ranger.
Number
Can I
10.
guess number 10? Can I guess it?
Yeah.
Brothers and Sisters.
No.
Ah.
People versus O.J. Simpson. Great show.
Whoa.
The actual
great-
show or the?
The show.
Okay.
He's innocent.
I think it's
He's
American
innocent.
Crime Series. I think it's labeled American Crime Series. O.J. Simpson versus
David Schwimmer, the man.
Great. Great. I think it was like 8 episodes. Great run. It was on Fox. I thought it was great acting.
So
FX.
guilty or not guilty?
Of what?
O.J. Simpson.
Oh, definitely
The
guilty.
club don't fit, you must acquit.
Yeah, there was a good argument though. He definitely did it.
No, he didn't.
Number 9, Chicago.
Don't be throwing out
innocent.
accusations.
Number 9, Chicago PD.
Very good show.
Very good show. Number 8.
You know what else is very good is Chicago Med.
Number 8, Brothers and Sisters. Oh, come on, I knew it.
Oh, close,
I bumped it up.
These
Number
shows are
7, you guys won't know what this one is. Nash Bridges. I'm not even going to bother trying to
We
explain
watch
it.
like old woman shows so far.
No, this is a great show back in the day.
Is Murder, She Wrote on that list?
No.
Grey's Anatomy.
Days of Our Lives.
Number 6, Suits on USA Network. Great show. Number 5, now my 5 is, you're all going to know them, so they're great shows. Number 5, Modern Family. How can you not say that's a great show? Fantastic show.
Phil Dunphy.
Great.
One of the
Cam.
best characters.
Cam. I was almost going to have a clip on here. Tyler and I watched it the other day when he's screaming. Some little girl who screams and Cam goes, "Ah!" right back at him. It's great. Fantastic.
You know, what happens after that? And Manny goes,
Oh, Manny Jay Pritchett goes, "What was that noise?" And then Manny comes back and goes, "I think a coyote got a cat." It's great. Number 4, House of Cards.
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, you know what? Whatever his problem was, it was a
City.
great acting show.
That show got what it deserved.
Actually, I must say that was on my top 10, and then I took it off because of what happened. I can't have that on my list.
Exactly, Tyler.
It's on mine. Number 3, one of the greatest comedies of all time, Seinfeld. Gotta be on there.
Wow.
Gotta be
That's
on
not
there. Number
number
3. Number 2, one of the best acting series I've ever seen, The Sopranos. Fantastic show on HBO. I'll give you one HBO show, Mike. The
So
Sopranos.
can we all guess on what's number 1?
Number 1?
ER.
Chicago Med, right?
No. How dare you bring that up? None other than the greatest drama of all time. 15 seasons of ER. Mike's been here. I've been rewatching on Hulu. Mike's been in here reading. He's been looking information up about it. Oh, when did George Clooney
Don't
leave?
let him
Exactly, that's the only thing that matters about it.
When did George Clooney leave? Who's
That's
this
when he's
actor?
going to stop watching.
There's some good
Don't-
parts in
Don't
there.
throw Mike under the bus. He's just there to collect a paycheck. He doesn't want to watch ER.
I would say my top 10 is a pretty good top 10.
your top 10 is full
Decent
of
at
washed
best.
up, full of washed up shows. I know.
Tom, what do you have?
All right, I'm going to give 2 honorable mentions since
Well,
Dan
before
gave
you
them.
before you went going, Mike and I had none of the same shows on our top 10. Just
Can we all give 15 honorable mentions as well?
Hey,
I've got 2. I got 2.
all right, so Tom,
All right, so
it's tough to come up with 10.
My 2 honorable mentions have to be Game of Thrones. Just because I haven't seen
Honorable
every, just because I
mention.
haven't seen every episode. That's why.
Okay. Okay.
That makes.
And then the other one, 1.0 is going to like this one. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
That's a good one.
He wanted me to mention
He's been trying to get me to watch that for years.
It is funny. There's a lot of funny things.
Okay. So, number 10, I have Friday Night Lights.
Good one.
Very good.
Texas forever, baby.
Number 9, I have, it's actually a Netflix show, The Ranch.
Oh, I think I heard that
yes.
Very good show.
I love that show.
Number 8 might come as a shocker. Boy Meets World.
I remember that. I used to watch that when I was a kid.
Such a good list, Tom. I like it.
Thank you. Number 7, Modern Family.
Cannot vote that one in.
Yep. 6, Stranger Things. I've only watched it 2 days. I binge watched the first season in one day, and then I binge watched the second season in one day. So
That needs to be done.
It's very disappointing when you get to the last episode, isn't it?
It is. It's upsetting, but it's also kind of relieving because you can do something else in your life.
You can go out into the world.
It's one of those shows you got to watch it, otherwise someone's going to spoil it somewhere else, and you just got to get it done.
Number 5, Family Guy. Not so much recently, earlier episodes, probably a few years ago.
Everybody's watched it and enjoyed it.
Number 4, Big Bang Theory.
Good show.
Very underrated show.
I've been watching it lately. It's pretty good.
Underrated. It's like the
number one show of all time. It's the number one show right now on TV.
Exactly, underrated.
No, The Good Doctor is.
No, it's not.
Good Doctor's a pretty good show.
What? Good Doctor's number 1.
Okay, anyway, number 3. I don't know if anybody's seen it. Last Man on Earth.
I've heard
with
of it.
Will Forte.
I've heard of it.
MacGruber. Number 2, Friends. Great show.
There
great
it
show.
is.
And then number 1, you want to guess it, Tyler?
The Office.
The Office. Michael Gary Scott. Best boss I ever had.
So I would say Tom.
It's a nice list.
I would say Tom's
Thank you.
is decent.
I would say Tom's is probably the best out of all of them. I heard.
Now let me get ready for my list. The best you want.
It goes Tom. It goes Tom's, Mike's, and then Dan's.
Whatever.
Dan's
You just hate on mine if you want to hate on it.
Sahara Desert.
I must
now,
agree.
if you want to go to Mangy Valley, where True Battle takes place, I'll bring you there. With
what's yours now?
Honorable mentions. I have to add some honorable mentions too. I have to add Entourage. I love Entourage. Boy Meets World. Great show. Tom brought it up. That reminded me that I had to add it. I'll just name those 2. And Ballers. I would put Ballers on there because I love that show.
Show's
number
wicked
10.
bald.
I'm going to start it out with Stranger Things. Only reason it's number 10 is because there's not many seasons out. I think it's going to be eclipsing my top 5 once it's done. Number 9 is Shameless. I love Shameless. Showtime. Represent. Number 8 is Parks and Recreation.
Okay.
Basically the equivalent of The Office, except Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Number 7 is Seinfeld. And Seinfeld is so low because I haven't seen every single episode, but I like Seinfeld so much because you can turn it on and you can literally laugh at any episode.
It's like Modern Family. Any episode's funny.
Yeah.
Yep. Number 6 is The Sopranos.
Oh my god.
Watch your mouth, Chrissy.
Watch it, Chrissy. See, you gotta do the hand movement. Watch it, Chrissy.
See, Dan, you shake your head, but unlike these 2, he at least had it on his list.
He did.
Number 5 is Friday Night Lights. Texas Forever.
Of course.
Number 4 is Modern Family. Number 3, which was on nobody's list, and I'm very disappointed, is Rick and Morty.
Oh my god.
Tomorrow
That's
at
a good
McDonald's, February 26th, get your Szechuan sauce. Free plug for McDonald's. Number 2 is The Office, and number 1 is Friends.
Whoa.
Wow.
1 and 2 right there. Right
Oh
there.
my god.
See, I knew me and Tom were gonna agree on.
I haven't voted. I've seen a lot of Friends, but I haven't watched the full series. So once I watch it, I probably
you watched
will rank it.
Seinfeld and ER, which were on
I've
at
watched
the same time.
Seinfeld probably like 5 times in a row.
Okay, no, what I'm saying is it's the same time period when it was on.
But exactly.
So
Just
you
from
just
that time period make me thirsty.
Friends, Seinfeld, and ER dominated NBC and the ratings for about 3 years together.
And you didn't watch Friends.
But they're lucky. Seinfeld didn't stay on because Seinfeld dominated ER when it was on TV. It dominated ER.
No.
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld went off the air in '99.
Seinfeld
No.
was
Seinfeld went off the air in '99, and ER was the #1 show in 1994. So no, for about 5 years, ER was ahead of Seinfeld.
Daddy. Seinfeld was daddy. Look at the last rating for the last season of Seinfeld.
I'm not gonna. Seinfeld's a great show. The ratings were incredible.
And you know what's better than ER is Chicago Med. And I'm gonna take that to the grave.
Whatever.
100%.
It wasn't on your list though, was it?
So
it's not, because it's not
when
even done
did you
yet.
say Seinfeld ended? 99?
I think it ended in '99, didn't it?
So I was 6 years old when that ended. You're old for having that in your top shows.
Very old.
Old.
He also like
washed up show.
Brothers and sisters.
He had it on
I was
his.
born in '93.
He's younger than you, and he had it on his.
Probably because you forced him to watch it.
But can we talk about the plot of Brothers and Sisters, please?
I don't even know what that show is.
Why are we going after mine?
What?
Why are we going after mine? What's wrong with you having a cartoon into your top 3? Like, there's
my
no
grandma
acting involved in a
watched the same
cartoon.
shows as you.
Whoa.
You watch the same shows as a baby boomer. No wonder why you're
Not really. Not really. The only old shows on mine are ER. ER ended in 2010, by the way. I wouldn't call that an old show.
Wasn't on your list is so old.
What?
I'm surprised MASH isn't on your list. Your list.
MASH is rated probably one of the greatest shows of all time.
I know it is, and it's a trillion times better than ER. I'd rather watch MASH any day of the week than ER.
What about Frasier?
Actually, Frasier
ER is washed up.
Okay, so obviously we have our own opinions and so on. What would we say? And we have our favorites, but what would you say is the #1 show of all time? All time, that whether you like it or not like it. Are you surprised that MASH would be #1? Do you even know what MASH is?
Yeah, I know what MASH is.
Have you heard of MASH?
Nope.
A lot of people, the 4 shows that I always see are ranked #1 in all the charts are Seinfeld, Sopranos, MASH, and
what is that one? It's
there's one more I can't think of what it's always ranked in
not ER, I know that.
It's not ER.
Grey's Anatomy?
No.
Isn't it The Wire?
The what?
Wire?
No.
The Wire's up there.
I thought The Wire was like ranked
gotta
#1
look it up now.
Is it one of the 15 different Law and Order series?
Don't even get me started.
Law and
on
Order,
Law and Order.
CI. Actually, probably the #1 rated show is WWE Monday Night Raw.
That is
the
the
longest
longest.
episodic.
The longest show of all time is
The longest episodic series in TV history.
I'm surprised
And
nobody
that
said
was
The
talking
Simpsons.
wrestling.
I was just thinking
Oh,
that
yeah.
if Dave was here, he would have said
Homeland.
Simpsons.
But he probably would have done the same thing as far as like earlier seasons. Thank you.
Boater, do you have
Jefferson's,
any? I don't want to
Dallas.
leave you off the list.
Yeah, Boda, what do you have?
I
Anything?
didn't put together a top 10. I don't watch a ton of TV. Like
you can do like a top 3 or something
yeah,
like
I
that.
mean, like, you know, I watch Game of Thrones as it comes out. Others that I watched were like Arrow, which was good earlier on. Before the Flash started crossing over with it too much, and I like Deadliest Catch. I think worked really, really well as a dramatic show because you get to know the characters over so many years.
They haven't had good luck though, have they not? Haven't, like half their cast like actually passed away from accidents.
Isn't that what
or-
he? Isn't that what he says? Boater, fish on.
One passed away from a heart attack that he had like on camera.
Oh my god.
Out at sea. And they've had 1 or 2 others pass away, but then as far as just like some of the captains go out of rotation just because they're not liked enough or whatever, and they end up not keeping them on the show. I haven't kept up with it in the past couple of years, but I really enjoyed it while I was watching it.
Well, Ice Road Truckers.
Actually, I've seen a few episodes of that.
I used to love that show.
I've never seen it.
Well, when you're driving in upstate New York and you don't have any of the roads plowed, it kind of feels like you're driving Ice Road Truckers.
Yeah.
You're living on the edge.
See, I think the problem with trying to figure out TV shows, you're never gonna remember all of them. I just found another one that I completely forgot about. Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah,
Great
wow,
show.
yeah.
I watched that. I would probably put that in.
I don't like that show.
They have Rolling Stone has Sopranos #1. The Wire. Yeah, I think you're right. The Wire. The Wire ranks pretty high in some of them. Breaking Bad, Mad Men, Seinfeld, Simpsons, Twilight Zone, Saturday Night Live, All in the Family, Daily Show. We're not really doing TV show. Game of Thrones is 12.
Just came out. It'll probably only go up. What time?
I I always feel
West
like
Wing.
Not if this next season is as bad as the previous one.
Yeah, now
I
that
always
they're not
feel like
following
with
the
the newer
books
shows,
anymore.
they always put them low on the list because it's still fresh in our brain. There's no like nostalgic feeling when you hear Game of Thrones because it's still on. But when you hear like The Wire, they're like, or Sopranos, you're like, oh, I remember watching that back in the day. That's such a good series.
And I think it's good being objective like that.
The nostalgic factor really adds in onto the list, I believe.
Because like a movie that you've just seen, that like the IMDb top 250 films is really heavily weighted towards stuff that just came out. I have some friends that put together a list of that, and the idea of, oh, I want to watch all of those that were on the top 250 that were at the start of the year, watch them by the end of the year.
Right.
And there was a lot of 2017 on that because it's fresh and it's what's in people's mind. I like the ones that you can look back on after 10 years and say, yes, that was actually a really good movie or a really good TV show. Just because it's good in the moment. And Game of Thrones doesn't mean that it's going to last. Breaking Bad after it's off the air.
No.
So, does everyone have a talk show that they like the most?
A talk show?
Like, I used to like Late Show with David Letterman a lot.
Old.
Well, yeah, but now he is. But
I'm surprised you didn't say Johnny Carson.
When I was living with my parents, they would have on Conan O'Brien. I enjoyed watching that, but I like don't go out of my way to watch like either late night or talk shows like that.
I like the segments where Conan's playing games with people. That's about it.
I love Jimmy Fallon. I'll watch Jimmy Fallon.
I like Jimmy Fallon now. Tom, you got one?
I mean, Netflix actually just added this thing with David Letterman.
I saw that.
Yeah.
He had Barack Obama the first
I watched
episode.
the one with, no, it was
Then he had
Barack
George
first.
Clooney the next one.
Yeah.
I watched both of those, and I forget who his
George
third one
Clooney.
is.
I didn't see I only saw the first.
I don't know if the third one's out yet,
Yeah.
but it's someone I didn't recognize. I think it's some.
George Clooney, Dan. I know you're tuning in for that one.
I'm not a big. I actually started watching ER after George Clooney left, so it wasn't because of George Clooney. I started
Is George
watching
Clooney
it.
your favorite Batman?
No, God, no.
He's
He's
great.
ranked one of the worst
I actually
Batman of
enjoyed
all
that
time.
The
I
bat
actually
nipples.
enjoyed that one.
I actually
think
enjoyed it too, but
it
he's
came out
ranked
when
one
I
of the
was a
worst
kid.
Batman.
That's like one of the first I saw growing up, unfortunately. So.
I think that was the first one I saw too.
Yeah, but you were
Unfortunately.
young enough that you didn't know any better. You were like, yeah, Batman.
I can't help but think of him though when I hear Batman.
I actually looked up the Batman top. They had like all the top ones, and Dark Knight with Heath Ledger was number one. I was like, God,
Pretty sure,
that one is so
that's hard
good.
to beat.
all
about
right,
Ben
like
Affleck now.
what I was saying as far as like it being really recent, when it first came out, it was like, oh, it's the best, and I'm like, how much are you saying that because it was really good, and how much are you saying that because of the circumstances surrounding Heath Ledger's death, and it just came out and such.
Reason
but here we are, like 10 years later, and a lot of people still consider it like number one, and even like one of the best superhero movies, period.
Right. This picture right here has a ton of good shows on it. Most of them we all talked about: Friends, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Seinfeld, Twilight Zone, Modern Family, Sex and the City, West Wing, The Simpsons, Mad Men, X-Files, Sopranos.
and watch Sex and the City.
I was
I'm
just
sure.
gonna say.
I knew a joke was coming. Arrested Development,
Lost.
Twin
Nobody
Peaks.
mentioned Lost, and that was huge.
Oh
while
my
it was
god, I
going.
did watch all that. That
Lost
was a
is
good
on
one.
here. MASH, 30 Rock.
I did
heard
like that.
that gets some reviews sometimes. 30 Rock, House of Cards, Will and Grace, the Mary Tyler Moore
Another
Show.
Dan show. Will and Grace is another Dan show.
Well, speaking of that, that'll lead us into our next one. What do we think about the resurgence of all the old TV shows? And now I say it because Will and Grace they ended years ago,
And they just
just started coming out. I think
they've been doing well though, haven't they?
I think they've been doing well. They may keep it going for a while. They've actually had a lot of good.
I thought Fuller House was atrocious. I watched the first episode. I was like, okay, it's kind of cool to see some of these characters back, but they're only in that first episode. And then you have to watch the people that you didn't really want to watch as a kid. So
I think Full House was such a product of its time that to take it out of when it was airing just doesn't work.
I think they needed just one episode. That's it.
Do
Show
a
them all
special?
back together,
Yeah.
have a good time, and leave.
Hey, do a direct-to-TV movie,
Right.
basically. Here's an hour-and-a-half episode or a TV event.
yeah.
Done.
That
A
would've been
classic
good.
one coming back, again, an old-timer show, is Roseanne. Now, that show I'm actually kind of interested because they're always political back in the day, and now obviously they have political stuff to talk about. So now they're coming
Roseanne
back.
is pretty political herself in the
She
news.
is.
She always is going at Donald Trump. So
I heard I heard in the show she's a Donald Trump supporter in the show.
well, yeah, because she's. I'm not even gonna get into
Treading
it. But okay.
dangerous waters.
But is she I don't know if she's a
I had
Trump.
to watch myself right there. For
Well,
once in my life, I had to watch what I said.
I don't know what she is in real life, but in the show, I know she plays a Donald Trump supporter.
I thought John Goodman died in...
He did, so they got to address that. I don't know how they're bringing him into the show.
I thought I heard something that they were just going to ignore it.
I think they're just going to go back to her.
Wait, John Goodman died?
He died.
In the show.
The series ended...
I thought you said he died in real life. I was what?
No. The series ended where basically all of season 9 was her writing about it. Because she wanted to be a writer when she grew up.
Gotcha.
And so at the end, it ended up realizing that everything in season 9, and that's when Dan died, was she just wrote about it. And he really died. One that was straight was gay, and the other one that was gay was straight, and the brothers were actually flip-flop. It was just they just ended it a weird way. So I'm kind of intrigued to see how they come back and they redo it. But that's a show that ended probably back in the 90s. And they're coming back 20 plus years later, and they're redoing it. And
they plan on doing a reboot with Friends too. Well,
Friends,
they want
to.
I don't know if that's going to happen. I've also heard the Office reboot.
But they're not going to put in the original characters.
Steve Carell already said he wouldn't do it. So.
Well, and then Jenna Fisher said she was, and then they didn't want her.
Well, she said she never received a call yet.
See, there's So do we like shows that are remade? Do we like that, or do you think the shows should end the way they end and no more of it?
If you liked that show,
right?
Yes, like The Office, I think would be a cool one to redo, but I don't know about soon. It just ended in 2013.
Right, but it won't be as good because those characters that were in there were so good together. It fits so well.
You have to bring back the characters in order to redo the show.
There's certain shows that you can. There's certain shows that you can bring back. Like The Office is a great show to bring back with a whole. You can take that concept and put it into a whole new office with all new people. I've always said the same thing with ER. Why not just take it to a whole new setting and do a whole new ER with new people?
Hard,
they did Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy is not even. We're not going down this road. Okay?
I think that's the kind of thing that you can't recapture the exact lightning in a bottle. You can't bring back the same cast and keep telling the same stories after there's been such a break. People want more Firefly. It's not going to happen because it's been 15 years. You can't bring back the same cast and keep doing that. What you can do is you can reboot, like Voltron Legendary Defender coming out on Netflix. Whether or not you're interested in Voltron back in the 80s, this show is fantastic. And then, or you do a spin-off, like Stargate Origins is airing just online right now as a spin-off of a franchise that ran for 17 seasons between its 3 shows. And so they're doing a new show instead of just, let's pick up where Stargate SG-1 left off instead.
Right. I've heard a lot. Like I heard.
Are they still doing Power Rangers? Oh man, that should have been an honorable mention of mine.
Like Will and Grace has done very well. Their resurgence that they've done very well. I heard they're going to try to do another season, and I think Roseanne will get another season too, of like their smaller 8 episodes, 10 episodes a season. But I don't think there's anything wrong with a TV show. Basically, I think The Office would be a great idea.
I agree with what you said, Dan.
What?
I think that they should do like one movie of the reboot instead of just making it a show. Because I feel like with a show, it just becomes saturated, and then it's just not fun to watch anymore.
Yeah, kind of like what Entourage did. Like, they made their movie.
Yes.
You could also do, like, a movie as a backdoor pilot, which is, you do it, and it's this feature-length thing, and boom, it's there. And then if it's really, really well received, then you make a series out of it. But if it's just kind of, oh, that was nice, thank you for doing that, then it's like, okay, we don't need to put more money into this.
Right. No.
Like everything Mary-Kate and Ashley did.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get her back, or them back, for their one episode.
That was wicked.
Actually, one of them was in Weeds, which is also a very good show.
That wasn't bad.
We could spend an hour talking about different shows, because there's just so many of them out there, and they're so good. And we all obviously have the ones that we like.
But seriously, are they making Power Rangers shows still?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
The cartoon.
The movie was awesome, though. When you see Tommy and Kimberly, I lost it. I yelled out in the theater, oh God!
They're definitely coming out with another one because the Green Ranger was there.
Tommy.
Tommy.
Kimberly, the Pink Ranger, which is what I just said.
Right.
The movie was great.
Right.
I think that's good.
I'm sure you dress up as the Green Ranger all the time, Tom.
Actually, the White Ranger.
I like the White Ranger myself. I like the White Ranger and the Black Ranger.
Black Ranger forever.
Oh yeah.
So Tom, what's in your disc tray? Moving on here. What? Because you're first time on the show. What have you been playing lately?
I mean, I just started up with Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
I watched it. I watched people play it, and I said, this game is stupid. I will never play this. And I played it, and it actually wasn't terrible. I don't necessarily like the online play. They have this thing called like Terrorist Hunt, where you can kind of do like the objectives, but it's against the computers, and there's a lot of them, and you kind of just work with your team to kill everybody. And I think that's a lot of fun. It's kind of like a zombie mode that ends a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, that's been there. Obviously PUBG a little bit. Yeah, I mean nothing too much right now, but I'm very excited for Sea of Thieves.
Jeremy's been playing that.
Played the beta,
Jeremy
and
and
it
Butt.
was pretty sick.
They've
We
been
don't
raving
talk
about
about
that.
He who must not be named.
Who, the
Voldemort?
cat or Butt?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. They are dead to me.
Mike, you and I have obviously been playing Call of Duty.
I
What else
also
been playing out
beat Super Mario World for the first time yesterday. So
for Super Nintendo.
I've always played it to like halfway through, and then
Now Mike got the classic,
Yeah.
so he has all the retro gaming. Did you get the NES one? Or did
Yep,
you,
I got them both set
Yeah,
up next to
that's
each other.
right.
Wow.
so
super
Mike's been
wet.
going through and playing all those. I've been playing Call of Duty. That's about it. I've been really hardcore into playing it almost every night. Playing it till late at night. It's getting a little crazy, but it's been going pretty good. What have you been playing? Anything?
Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Oh my god.
Super wet. Super soaker wet.
Are you good at it yet?
Buttery smooth, and I'm so good at button smashing in that game. It's
Did
unreal.
you whip out Fat
Better
Boo?
than anybody else.
Fat Boo?
Fat Boo all day. I just unlocked him.
God.
Yikes.
Him and Super Saiyan Goku. Oh god. And Krillin, of course. Gotta add Krillin.
It's all about Vegeta.
I haven't unlocked Vegeta yet, but he'll be in my lineup when I do.
Yeah, we'll see.
But what have you been up to? Playing anything?
Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction. Yesterday, my wife and I were recording for that coming out on my channel, and we recorded 19 episodes worth. We finished the game
Oh my
from,
God.
like, we played Act 4 and Act 5 just straight through.
Wow.
Yeah,
Game's
it was like 12 hours of gaming. Boom.
Game's awesome.
Some hot stuff in the store this week. I know we've been showing some expensive, rare games that are in the store. For us this week, we'll point right to that Nintendo Switch I came in. I don't expect that to be here that long. We got some very moist. If you're a GameCube fan and you're near the Queensbury Northway Plaza location, definitely stop in because we have about 20, 25, maybe 30 GameCube games hitting the shelves tomorrow. Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers, Mario Parties, Pokemon XT, Digimon, Pokemon Coliseum, Super Bomberman, a bunch of them for GameCube going on the floor tomorrow. So that should really, I know we've had a lot of customers come in looking for a GameCube the last couple of days, and we've been selling them out like crazy. We have like 5 games over there, and people are still coming in and finding a game out of the 5 games they like, and they're buying them. No, we got like 30, but I'm just saying.
That should help
Compared to
fill it up.
PlayStation 2 where you got 300. Yeah.
Exactly. What were you pointing to up there? What's good over there?
Well, I didn't get really anything as hot fire as I did last week with Majora's Mask Collector's Edition, in which I sold the next day of putting it on the podcast, might I add.
Adios.
It's Zelda. You could have sold it by hiding it behind the counter.
And I did hide it behind the counter.
And it was zoom.
This
gone.
week, I'm going to show you, the box is a little beat
Spoiled
up,
it,
but
I
it
saw
doesn't matter. But Mega Man X for the Super Nintendo.
Oh, God.
God.
Nice.
Inbox.
Splash.
Missing the manual, no big deal. But super crisp copy of Mega Man X right here with the holder. We're selling it for $69.99 down here at Countryside Mall. Insane Games. Give us a call. Let us know if you want it.
What's your number?
727-351.
Come on.
1405.
Hit the button.
7029.
7029. I don't want him to call me. I just want him to come in and buy
I knew I could throw that right in there and stump him.
This guy right here kind of looks like you, Tom.
I'm trying to run a promo here, and I
beard.
all this information.
Okay, so we're going to move on one more week with a broken challenge. We're going to make sure we do that while Dave is here. So you guys get an extra week to submit your video for the broken challenge. Again, be safe. Come up with a unique idea, something that may be defective. Whatever you want. Do some kind of smashing. Tom, you've never done one.
No, I haven't. I'm gonna have to do something.
Be a little.
Tom,
it's
take
gonna be
the
that
Nintendo
Switch right
Switch
there.
and
Yeah.
smash it.
Tom's gonna have to show me how to use a Nintendo Switch because when I came in today, I don't think I even knew how to test it. I didn't know how to connect it to the TV.
Wow.
I'm actually
does it work or not?
It works, but I'm actually
how do you know?
I'm lacking a lot of knowledge about the Wii or the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, they're selling really well, and people
Yeah.
are holding on to them. They're not really getting traded in
That's the first
yet.
one we've had traded in.
Yeah.
So make sure if you're interested in a used one, stop into the Northway Plaza in St. Games, Queensbury, New York. So how do we think Tom did first episode? Filling in for Dave.
He did very ball.
We got to get a nickname.
Very good, very good.
You got the tech, you got the boss, you got the gamer, you got the kid. You got to come up with some kind of
the worst Overwatch player.
No.
The worst PUBG player too.
The beard.
I'll give him that
We
one.
go with the beard.
The Viking.
I don't.
I
You
don't
can't
know,
give yourself a nickname.
A lot of the Goon Squad said that Tom's not that good at PUBG, so.
I'm not.
His nickname can just be 2.0.
The 2.0. The second Tom.
They're not as good as the first Tom.
Well, 2 refers to better. 2.0.
The Skull Packer.
Grow up.
Wow.
The Peach, specifically.
Wait, what did you call him?
Skull Peach Packer.
What do you do? The skull?
No.
What do you do?
What do you do?
I don't know. I
That's
don't
like
know how to do it.
What do you do? Do you do the weed? Okay, old man, roll it up.
All right, I think we're done. Anything else we want to add in?
Oh.
Make sure you like us and subscribe to us at YouTube Behind the Counter or on Facebook Insane Games NY, Insane Games FL. Make sure you comment, like us, give us any ideas or conversations you want us to talk about. We'd like to hear what you guys are thinking, so maybe we could talk about it. I think we're good. Good episode down, right, boys?
Yep, bald man.
All right.
Ball.
I think we're done. Get ready for episode 7 next week. Dave returns. We're out.